settle in, get comfortable. Tonight, we're gonna take a little trip, right from your bed to a place where old stories are carried on the wind. Right now, as you're lying there, just on the edge of sleep, let's go on a journey together. A journey into a legend that's been whispered in the dark for generations. We're heading to the vast, endless plains of Venezuela and Colombia. Just picture it, a place where the horizon goes on forever and the night is so quiet. It's in this deep silence that our story lives. And out there, in that quiet, one single sound can mean everything. A simple whistle, drifting through the darkness, a sound that could literally seal your fate. So, to understand that whistle, we have to go back, way back, to the very beginning, to the story of the man who first made it. This is how the monster was born. Our story starts with a young man who was, to put it mildly, a spoiled brat. He was cruel, arrogant, and had a temper that was just terrifying. He wasn't known for his kindness, let's just say that. And one day, that temper finally boiled over. In a fit of pure rage over something as small as a meal he didn't like, he did the absolute unthinkable. He murdered his own father. An act so monstrous, it felt like it broke the world itself. Well, when his grandfather found out, he decided death was way too kind. No, he wanted a punishment that would last. First, he had the boy tied to a post and whipped until his back was completely raw. Then he had them rub burning chili peppers into the open wounds. And finally, he was cast out, hunted by a pack of starving, rabid dogs. But believe it or not, that wasn't even the real punishment. The grandfather's final act was to lay a curse on him. He condemned him to wander the earth for all of eternity as a restless, hungry spirit. And as a constant, heavy reminder of his crime, he was cursed to carry his father's bones in a sack on his back forever. And this is how he became known as El Silbón, the Whistler. Now you don't see him coming. There are no footsteps, no looming shadow. His presence is announced by just one thing. That's sound. A chilling, totally unnatural sound that has become the most feared part of the entire legend. And it's not just any whistle, it's a very specific, deliberate, and haunting melody. It climbs a musical scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, and then it falls back down. Fa, mi, re, do. A little tune that just does not belong in the natural sounds of the night. But here is the twisted logic of the legend, the part that will mess with your head. If you hear that whistle loud and clear, like it's right outside your window, you can relax. You're safe. He's far away. But if you hear it faintly, like a distant echo on the wind, it's already too late. It means he's right there, standing just behind you. So if you hear that faint whistle, what are you even looking for? If you dare to turn around, what is it that you would actually see? What does this wandering curse look like? People who claim to have seen him describe something straight out of a nightmare. A figure that's unnaturally tall, stretched out, and skeletal. So thin it looks like a strong breeze could just snap it in two. And he doesn't walk like a person, he glides. He moves across the land with this eerie, silent grace, his feet barely even touching the ground. He makes no sound, leaves no tracks. The whistle is the only proof he's even there. So who does he hunt? The stories say he has specific tastes. He preys on those wandering the night, drunkards stumbling home, unfaithful husbands and womanizers, and really anyone unlucky enough to get lost in the dark emptiness of the plains. When he finally catches up to his prey, that's when the real horror begins. They say he gets enraged and he opens that filthy sack he carries. And a sound comes out, the dry, clattering rattle of bones. Not just his father's bones anymore, but the bones of every victim he's ever taken. It all sounds pretty hopeless, doesn't it? But folklore almost always gives you a fighting chance. There are, supposedly, a few ways you can protect yourself. According to the old tales, there are 3 things he fears. A whip, because it reminds him of the brutal punishment that created him. Hot chili peppers, the very thing they used to sear his wounds. And the sound of barking dogs, which reminds him of the pack that first hunted him down. These things are like his kryptonite. But what happens if you don't have any of those things? What if it's just you, right now, in your room, alone? in the quiet of the night, where the only thing you can hear is your own heartbeat. What then? Well, then all you can do is listen and hope. You have to hope that the whistle you hear is loud and sharp and close. Because if it's faint, if it's distant and far away, it's already over. And with that, our story comes to an end. As I leave you now in the quiet of your own room, just hold on to what you've learned tonight. Because now you carry this story with you. So when everything in the house settles and the world outside goes completely still, that silence isn't going to feel so empty anymore, is it? Let's just hope that his cursed melody, that rising and falling scale, decides to stay very, very far away from your ears tonight. Sleep well, if you can.